Alright, so it is August 31st, 2018, and I thought I'd do a video on these tea leaves here. These tea leaf plants. These are the red variety. As you can see, I already have one that's growing right there. There's two of them actually coming up, but it's actually one root ball that had all these coming up from it. And my neighbor was getting rid of hers, so she stopped by and gave me all of these, and that was about a week and a half ago. It's been pretty busy around here, especially with the hurricanes that were forecasted to come this way, so I didn't get a chance to do anything with them, but today I will be planting them. The whole portion of the plant that's been submerged in the water started growing roots already. All these little white things that you see here are all roots just reaching out. So this plant is most definitely a survivor plant. All right, so as you can see here, I've got them set up to how I want them. These are some extra branches that I have without leaves, and there's no doubt that these will grow as well, even though they don't have any leaves on them. But I'll be potting these in a separate container altogether, these 5 little pieces here. And when they actually do get leaves and actually start rooting, I'm going to go ahead and loosen all that up and put them into their own sizable pots. I'm not worried about knocking all these little starter roots off, because like I said, this plant is a survivor and it's going to do perfectly fine. And I have it here. I'm going to go ahead and just push it down in there, and that's it. That's pretty much what I want. I'll give it another watering here, just to make sure all the dirt is pushed up against the stem. So it is September 1st, and it's the day after I decided to pot these tea leaf plants. These are the red variety. So I have this one, each pot has 2 branches in there. So I have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I also have the smaller branches that had no leaves, but I haven't planted them yet, and I'll be doing that later on today. Alright guys, so it's October 6th, 2018, and here we are about a month later after first putting these tea leaf plants into these pots. Whenever the soil was feeling kind of dry, I went on ahead and watered them. Other than that, the rain has been pretty helpful as well. So of course, with tropical weather, you've always got chances of growing tropical plants a lot easier. And I know it might not be as easy for those of you who aren't in tropical weather to grow these types of plants, but like I said, with other plants, you can always build a greenhouse and create your own little jungle. As you can see with all these plants, you see these little sharp looking things sticking out on the top of them, and those are actually the new foliage that's coming in right there. So they're pretty much on all of the tea leaf plants here. With each one of these pots, I did say that I put 2 branches per pot. However, with this one, I did mention that I would grow these ones separately in their own little pot. And I know with a lot of plants, it may seem unrealistic to plant, to just kind of stick sticks in the ground and expect them to grow, but with my experience, which goes back pretty far to when I was a child, me and my brothers always grew up around these plants, and we would, just snap a stick off and, just like little boys run around and try and sword fight with these sticks. And eventually we throw them on the ground or stick them in the ground, and before you know it, you come back and the plant is growing. So let me get a close-up of what's going on here with this one. So as you can see here, there's some growth. It didn't take too much for these plants to grow, so I didn't add any rooting hormone to them. I didn't do anything special. This is just that same old Miracle-Gro potting soil from Walmart. So this is the only pot that I planted tea leaf plant individually in, which was the example pot that I used in the beginning of the video. As you can see, it didn't take too much to grow these plants. They're pretty hardy. They can handle pretty tough weather, and like I said, I know I am fortunate to be in tropical weather where I could grow tropical plants pretty easily, but I don't think it would be too hard to grow these plants anywhere in the world actually. With this branch here, it doesn't look like there's any leaves on it, but if you look closer down at the bottom of it, right here, there's a little shoot coming off of this one right here. So you can be sure that there are roots, you know, really spreading down there. If you don't remember, in the beginning of the video, there were little white roots that were coming out from the portion of the branch that was submerged in the bucket. Some of these were those little white roots, but as you can see, it kind of healed up and closed up, and now all the roots are beneath the soil. It's October 24th, and it's been a month and a couple weeks, so we're coming up on 2 months now since we first planted these tea leaf plants. They were grown without any rooting hormones. In tropical environment, in my opinion, it's not necessary to have any rooting hormones. As you can see, growth is doing pretty well. I do, however, suggest that you stick the branches in a bucket of water for a week or two before you actually plant them. That way the roots can actually start working its way out of the branches, and you can grow them a lot easier and faster than you would just sticking them in the soil. However, you can just grow them by just sticking them in the soil. You need to make sure the soil stays moist so that the roots can be encouraged to come out and stabilize the plant. I'm glad that you guys get to see just how easy it is to grow these red tea leaf plants. I want to thank you guys for following along on this update. I'll be transplanting these plants here in probably a couple of months. I'm going to let them get a lot bigger, maybe 3 times as big as they are now. As you guys can see for yourselves, it doesn't take too much for these plants to go ahead and grow. So it's only going to be a matter of time before we're back here to transplant these plants. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next update.